welcome to my French class. Today we're going to go over the 30 most commonly used verbs in French. We're going to go over the past tense, present tense, and future tense. And we're going to start with les pronoms sujets, the subject pronouns. So the subject pronouns in English is I, you, he, she, we, you, they. The equivalent of that in French is je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. So, I'm going to compare one with the other. So in English, it's I. French is je. English, I. French, je. You is tu. So you is tu. There's a formal way of using tu and there's an informal way. So when it comes to referring to a person, you can use tu in the case where the person is your age or younger than you. So if, let's say, you have student friends, your friends, your cousins, it doesn't matter as long as they're your age or younger than you. The formal way of referring to somebody that's older than you is vous. So vous is normally used in the many yous, like a group of people, you. However, in the French language, it's used in vous, as in the yous, the many yous, just like in English, but also when it comes to referring to a single person that happens to be older than you. So it's automatically out of respect. So your teacher, your doctor, your parents, you use vous. So comment allez-vous is a question you use when you ask a stranger, how are you, out of being polite. Comment vas-tu is something you can use when you're asking your friend, how are you? So that's the difference between tu and vous when it comes to referring to somebody. The next one is il for he, elle for she. We have on for it. So let's say you want to refer to a third party. It's a single person, but you don't want to use a gender specific. You use on. So the equivalent of that in English would be it, or the people, or the person. Nous is we. So OU, remember last class, in the last video, the sound OU is ou, and the S at the end of the word, you don't pronounce it. So nous. Same thing with vous, you don't pronounce the S, and OU is ou, so vous. And then at the end, for they, we have gender specific. We're going to go over the feminine, the masculine, and plural singular rules in the future classes. However, just for the brief overview of verb conjugations, we're just going to briefly use the il, elle, and then il, elle with an S, knowing that it's plural, it's many guys or many girls. So many guys with an S, il with an S, many girls, elle with an S. If you have a combination of the two, male and female, in a group of people that you want to use and refer to as they, you use il. So you can have 100 girls, it doesn't matter, as long as there's one guy, the il overrules. So that's how that rule is. So if you want to use a gender specific for they, and it's a mixture of the genders, then you use il to refer. So those are the pronouns when it comes to subjects. Les pronoms sujets, that's how we say it in French. So je, tu, il, elle, on. When it comes to verb conjugations, I'm going to skip the on just to keep it simple. I don't want to confuse or overload you. So I'm just going to stick to the he and she. But in this part of the video, you know that we have on as well when it comes to referring to a third party that you don't want to use gender specific. So, je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle with an S. So that completes the first part. Now we can move on to actually conjugating the very first verb that we're going to go over, which is the verb être.